What is up, Smashers? Good morning. Hanging out at Delta, doing all kinds of fun stuff. Listen, I'm just gonna point her out. She's gonna laugh right now because she swiped my band halfway through the mobility. So, hey, we're gonna redo it anyway. It's a green band to match the green shirt. You guys ready to smash? I think it's time to smash. What do you think? Think it's time for a haircut? Hey, we are gonna go over how to fix your squat. Fixing your squat is actually not that hard. It's usually an ankle and a hip issue. So we're gonna fix it all in like 3 steps. It's that fast. Now the problem is the hips need to open up, right? We need to externally rotate the femur in the hip, in the head of the femur, in the acetabulum, so we can open up everything and drop down and keep those knees tracking out over the feet, and we can drop down with our butt. A lot of the times what happens is when you're squatting and pushing out of the ground, people tend to dump their knees forward, like the guy over at the doc over at Squat University. Super smart, knows what he's doing. And he's really, really great at fixing mobility issues. What he does is he talks about that, how your squat needs to be a certain type of way. So I'm gonna go over some of that right now. And what I mean by the knees shooting forward is when we tend to cheat the squat and move the squat in a funny way, the knees shoot forward this way instead of opening up this way. Now I realize that probably made no sense holding the camera, and I probably should have done that a little lower. But anyway, the knees dump forward instead of tracking out and sinking with your butt. And that's because the outside of the hip, the high hip, the glute med, the glute min, the TFL, doesn't externally rotate anything in that hip, and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And then the glute max doesn't get to drive out, and that's where your horsepower is coming from. So we're gonna open up the hip, we're gonna unglue that joint capsule. I'm gonna show you how to turn on that external rotation by something called a Jones squat. My friend JJ invented it, and we'll see. I don't know if he invented it. I'm gonna take your word for it. So he invented it on how to activate that external rotation. We're gonna clear out the ankle because the way the ankle works is you have the tibia and the fibula, and they sit like this, and in the center is the talus, and that talus has to tuck backwards to allow dorsiflexion of the ankle. If it can't tuck back, it smashes into that talus, and you can't fully dorsiflex, so you wind up recovering some of the slack higher up in the chain, which is not good. So you guys ready to smash stuff out? Let's get smashing. So here's the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open up the hips. We're gonna do a modified frog stretch with a band, and it's pretty gruesome. I gotta tell you, how are these people doing mobility? It's pretty awesome. I kind of dig that stuff. So what we do is we take a band. Okay, we got a black band. Sorry, it's gonna be hard to see, but it's the only color I had because I'm using the other 2 green ones to show you the rest of this stuff. So we get into the band. The band is gonna go at your hips, like you're wearing a belt, and then you're gonna let the band, so you can see it's anchored at the bottom of the rig. This is a heavy band, it's about 1.5 inches. You're gonna get real wide, feet are gonna be turned out, shoes have to match the color of the shirt, that's really important. Let's see if I can come all the way over here. Oh, oh, oh. Right by a big stack of weights. So the band is loaded up around the hip, and it's gonna force me backwards. It's gonna allow that head of that femur to seat really deep in that acetabulum, so you're mobilizing in the right position, not a wrong position. That's number 1. So turn out, get nice and stable, and then just let yourself come all the way back. Just keep your back as flat as possible, and then just camp out here for how long? 2 minutes, ninjas. That's number 1. Oh, that's grizzly. You're gonna feel that in the hip, the adductor, clean out those hamstrings, the glute, all that stuff's gonna unload. Oh, while I fall out of my band and almost peel off my shoe. But that would have been funny. It's like I'm trapped in a band. This being trapped in a band isn't a bad thing. It's a rock and roll band. My jokes are terrible. So now what you do is you take a band, 2 of them. All right, so we're gonna raise these up to about knee height. So you can see the band is at knee height, okay? Sitting at knee height, you need 2 of them. Get inside the rig. And what you do is you make sure we do that. All right, so what you do is you get into the band, opposite foot. And without falling, you get them up to the knees. So this is gonna provide that resistance in that external rotation. The only time I'm gonna tell you to do this, toes forward. We don't squat toes forward, we squat with our toes out a little bit. Ask my friend Jesse Burdick, he'll tell you, you can drive more weight that way and it's easier on the joint. So you're gonna push the hips out as hard as you can, band loaded up. You're gonna drop into the squat, hold for 5 seconds, and then push yourself all the way up. Drop into the squat, push yourself all the way up. You're gonna do that. If I trip and fall, I think that would probably be the funniest portion of this entire video. But you're gonna do that 3 sets of 10. That's gonna work on turning on the outside of the hip. I promise you this, it's gonna light you up, you're gonna curse me, it's gonna hurt, I'm sorry, it works. That's number 2. Number 3 is you're gonna fix that ankle mobility real fast. So we're gonna teach that talus to tuck the way it's supposed to and clear up all that mobility restriction in the ankle. The next thing you know, you're squatting like a champ. And a squat is a fundamental movement, believe me. So you wanna take the band, I know, green shoes, green band. Let me grab this. George Lucas is asking me for camera skills. We're gonna go like this. Yeah, I know, Jess, I know what you're saying. I'm moving the camera around a little bit again. So we're gonna take the band, we're gonna suck it in around where the talus is. So you can see the band is sitting around the crease of the ankle, that's the talus. All you're gonna do is you're gonna find that the heel is glued to the ground, band is loaded up about maybe 30, 40 pounds of tension. And this is a 1 inch, or this is a 3/4 inch band, sorry. It's a 3/4 inch band. And then you're just gonna hunt and scour around until you find that spot where it's kind of grisly, like there. That is just diabolical. Get that foot planted down and really push that knee out and really kind of, just hang on that. You know what, can you do me a favor and hand me a PVC pipe? I'm gonna show you a little trick. This is a bonus. This is the Super Smash bonus, thank you. And we're gonna take this, and there's so many things you can do with this, but right now we're gonna get on the outside of the foot, right here, and we're gonna push this out. So this is a bonus. So this is gonna force you into that externally rotated position, so you're not teaching that motor pattern to be bad, you're giving yourself a good motor pattern, and you're gonna suck that talus back in the right position. So take the PVC pipe and crank it out as hard as you can while pushing that tip of that, or pushing that knee forward out over the foot. Hang out like that for how long? 2 minutes, and then call it a day. Now, you can squat like a superstar. It's just that easy. Hey, listen, that's how you fix your squat really fast. 3 moves. I'm Trev, SmashweRx. I'll check you guys out tomorrow. Have an awesome day.